something like that. I don't know.
14th.
14th, and it's a Saturday, and we're documenting Grandma Mary. And years from now, we'll probably appreciate this. But anyway, so this is her house. Let's take a look. As you see, this is the view out of her back door, and that's the shed that used to have the apple trees that Grandpa tended to, and the funeral home. And on the other side of that wall there is the embalming room, and then this is an office. Anyways, we're going to head out, and Grandma doesn't know that we're taping yet, so let's see if she freaks out.
Could you pick that up and not just kick it?
This is my friend Sarah's stuff, which is junk. So here we go. Oh, here she is. Hi, Grandma.
Goodness sakes, how are you?
Good, Grandma. How are
I
you?
thought you'd never get here. I thought you forgot.
I didn't forget. Mwah.
Nice to see you. Good. I love
Good to
you
see
very
too.
much. Yeah.
And I brought you a present. This is from Shannon and me for
Oh,
Christmas.
my dear, dear, dear. Look who's here, my little girl.
And then here, I'll
How are
put it
you?
aside.
Let me give you a nice hug. I
Good to
love
see
you.
you.
Love to see you, too. Yeah, you're...
So we're going to go. We're going to go out to
Yeah, we're gonna
Kentucky
eat.
Fried
When are you
Chicken.
gonna open the gifts?
Pardon?
When are you gonna open the
When
gifts?
we get back.
Okay, we'll see.
All right. Now let's see Tweety. This is Grandma's
good.
house.
Tweety, come on, sweetheart. Oh, I did not expect anything from you, Phil.
Oh, of course.
No,
We love,
no.
it's Christmas, and
Oh, my.
we figure you give so many gifts, you might as well get some.
Oh, well, yeah, but grandchildren are grandchildren.
So now, how long have you had Tweety?
Oh, I've had Tweety about 6.5 years now.
Wow.
And he's greeting you, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can hear him.
Well, shall we go and eat?
Yeah, we're going to eat now.
All right.
You said she's going to have 8 by 10s made.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Maria, and that's this,
Oh, sorry.
her, Eric and
Carrie.
Carrie.
Mhm.
Yeah,
You have a lot of pictures on the fridge.
I have a lot of them on there.
But they're all they're not of Skip.
Yeah, you
Well,
don't have,
of course,
do you have any of
never-
me?
Skipper don't give me any.
They're all
I do
Mike.
too.
I have to put him on Skipper. He don't give me any.
Yeah, you really.
I got a Mike because of his wedding this
Oh.
time. Yeah,
Mhm.
his wedding. Everything was his wedding.
Yeah, you have a lot of pictures of Mike, I see.
Yeah, well, what's her name? Hope and Chuck were there, and Hope is a picture taker. And with two, how should I put it? She gets doubles.
There's a
so
picture
she
of
gets
me.
one, yeah.
I see one.
Which one is it?
It's the one right above this one.
Okay, yeah, see, well, you hide yourself.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do that.
So, Grandma, why are we going to KFC? I mean,
Because I love it. They make the best meals there, and you get your money's worth over there.
oh, I knew that was true, but because they have a Perkins here too, don't they?
Perkins is not a very nice restaurant anymore.
Why?
They get so skimpy about their foods. They
Really?
give you a great big donut, a big bun, and then they put a little bit of meat in there. Well, you were there with me the last time.
Oh, that's right. I
You
forgot
were
about
there.
that.
And I took, what's his name, Mike there a couple of weeks before that to KC's, and he said, whispered to me, he says, we should have gone to KC's. He said, there's a lot better than over here.
Because they have a, what do they call that? Well, we're going to
Buffet?
eat the
A buffet.
the
The
smorgasbord.
works, yeah, the smorgasbord.
The works.
The works. You can take whatever you want.
Can you
And
take it home with you? Like extra?
If you can't eat it all, they'll give you something to take home, I
they
think.
do?
I think so. We better find out.
Sometimes they make you just eat it all there, you know?
Yeah, that's true too.
I like
I
you.
don't know. We'll have to find out today.
I know I'm hungry. I'm ready to go.
Oh, well, let's go. We're
Okay,
going.
cool.
It's 5 after, so we better go. I'm going to the washroom for a minute.
All right.
That's a must.
Oh,
for
I have to
me.
plug that battery in.
All right.
Don't. I have to go in there.
What did you just say? Say it again.
The toilet paper roll is super hard because I think she dropped it in water. And it's all like wavy. You should go check it out. Go look at it. Is she in there?
I think so.
You need to like, get tape everything on the walls, like all the G stuff.
Mhm. She'll like the
No,
stuff.
save the battery power.
26 minutes.
Hmm?
So here we are.
They take takeout?
They for families. Hello. All these packages.
So you gotta show us how it works.
Yeah. Then they got these containers, you help yourself.
Okay.
Oh, I see.
But one thing I don't like about the new style, they put it too far over that way, so for us shorter people, it's harder to put on a plate.
Oh.
It's kind of biased against the short people.
Okay, oh, they're gonna be trying to food you for us, giving them all
Oh,
off.
we have barbecue chicken.
See the things. Take whatever you want. You can take a little bit of salad, or you can take coleslaw.
Are you recording there?
But then this is just the salad part here. But for the further you can get a lot of things.
So what do you recommend?
I recommend anything you like.
Oh.
You take whatever you like.
I think I want some chicken. Where's the
You could
chicken?
get chicken.
Oh, they have the chicken over there.
Oh, for a second I thought it was just a salad bar.
Here, this is just a salad bar. See?
Okay.
Don't you want no salad,
Yep.
no greens?
Actually, I do.
Take something. You can take anything and everything. Now see that butter.
I don't want to full. Oh.
I want some butter and I can't reach it. See?
Oh.
I take about 3 of them.
Here we go.
Thank you.
I think. You know what? I like to. Ooh, this one's good.
It's a salad.
What'd you think?
Sure. Here's your good food again.
Oh, this is the good stuff.
And here, if you like soup, you can take
Oh.
soup, anything you want. Here's your
Yum.
mashed potatoes.
About when Skip would pray the rosary.
Pardon?
When Skip would pray the rosary, didn't he lead the rosary?
And then not Skip. He didn't lead the rosary.
I did.
But
Maybe do
Clint-
it once at
Oh,
church.
in church, yeah. He was with me in church, and that was the best, nice welcome from him. I always respected any boy that knows how to pray the rosary.
I sometimes I get confused though. 'Cause
Well,
sometimes I'll say it and I'll get confused. You
You
know? Don't you ever do that?
No, I know it so well that it's in me. It's just born in me.
What's the one prayer that it goes? You go after the very end of the rosary. You say,
Remember, most gracious Virgin
Yes, that's
Mary,
the one.
never was it known that anyone who fled to your protection, implored your help, and sought your intercession was left unaided. You know that one.
no, I don't. Keep going, because I don't know it.
Inspired with this confidence, I fly unto thee, O Virgins, my mother. To thee I come before thee. I stand sinful and sorrowful. O Mother of the Word incarnate, despise not my petitions, but in thy mercy hear and answer me. Amen. That's a powerful prayer. You should learn that.
Where did you learn that one?
I learned that when I was about 9 years old.
9 years old. Really? Because when I was young, I wouldn't ever pray that with you. That one. That wasn't one that I only remember within the last 5
Yeah,
years.
9 years old when I was at home yet.
Oh.
We said that was my mother's favorite.
Oh, really?
We all had to say that.
I didn't know that. Because now you're teaching young kids to do the rosary too, aren't you?
I have got 16 students on CCD nights, Wednesday nights.
No, I think that would be hard.
They're not hard. They're good kids. I
What's
love
their
them.
ages?
Well, they're about 10, 11.
See, but if they don't want to
They're
listen,
12.
how do you make them listen?
They listen.
They do?
Mine have to listen. They know
How do you
they-
make them listen?
Because Sarah teaches and she
And
has.
it's hard to be
You know what I
disciplined.
tell them?
What?
I said, I'm here because I love you. First of all, because I love Jesus. And I love you. And I want you to learn to love Jesus so that you'll be ready and prepared when he calls you to come back home with him. And don't depend on old age because it don't work that way all the time.
And they listen to you.
They listen to me. I have a nice group. Everybody wants to come into my room. I don't know why, but they do.
Didn't you have one kid? There was one time you said a really, really bad kid.
He was mentally distorted.
What did he do?
Oh, he could not sit. He would not listen. And he would go in and prick everybody he could around.
Would he beat him up or what?
No, no, no. And I'd always say, Roger, if you don't sit down, you're not going to learn anything. And I said to him, you know what, Roger? Jesus is taking pictures of you right now. And when you get to heaven, he's going to show it to you so you won't be able to get out of it.
So where would he end up?
Well, he'd sit for about 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and then he started the same thing. But the kids told me, Mrs. Benny, he is good here compared to what he is in school.
Oh, you're kidding.
He was a non-reader too. Couldn't read.
How old was he?
He was 11 years old.
What?
Yep.
And he couldn't read?
Could not read. In the 5th grade. But you see,
Did he have like a learning disability?
very strong. And they just kept pushing him on to get rid of him. That's what it was, really.
Well, that's awful.
That is awful. But what can you do when he... Well, I'll just give you an example. One day while teaching, his mother bursted right into the room. She walked right over to him. And you know what he was? He would always bring something to irritate you. He brought his earphones and a music thing in front of him. And she came over there and she grabbed that music box out from him and pulled it right out, and he started screaming, I hate you.
The mother did that?
The mother did that.
Okay.
And he started screaming, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. And we all chimed in, you cannot talk like that to your mother. My goodness sakes.
Who's we you all?
My children.
Kids? Oh, wow.
They all,
Okay.
you know. And then she left the room by saying, oh, Mrs. Brady, do with him whatever you can. Do with him. So then I found out. He said, I hate my dad too.
He said that?
Mm-hmm.
But the dad wasn't there.
They're divorced. That's what let it out.
That's awful.
Yeah.
How long do you teach then? For an hour?
An hour.
And what did you say, Wednesday nights?
Wednesday night, 6:30 to 8.
So what specifically do you teach? I'm interested. I don't know because I don't remember what I learned in that time frame.
Well, right now
You-
we're on the sacraments.
Okay.
And so they know about baptism and Holy Communion.
Anointing of the
Eucharist,
sick and
That's right.
that are maybe sad that they can't find it.
Well, number one, you got to depend on our dear Lord for everything. He's the one that gives and takes.
Okay.
And somehow he sends people unexpectedly, like Daddy and I met unexpectedly at a bingo stand of all places.
How old were you?
I was 23 years old.
Oh, 23. Good.
Good,
Okay.
yep.
I was hoping it wasn't like 18 or 19.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I was too busy with my work. You know, as an assistant county superintendent of schools, I had a lot of work to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was going with a highway patrol man, and I actually fell for Skipper, I hate to tell you this, but I fell in love with his suit, his outfit, more than anything I did. And his office was just below my office. So anytime he wanted to take me out to dinner, I went because I was tired of cooking for myself. So I went. But, you know,
But you liked his suit.
I
You didn't
love-
like him?
I liked the suit better than I liked his.
Was he good looking?
Yes, he did. But he was not of my faith.
Ooh, what was he, Lutheran?
He was Lutheran.
Would that have
Yeah.
been a big problem?
Yep, with my mother and dad very seriously. It was a great big problem. Tell you what happened. The first time I brought him home to introduce him to my parents, my mother was sitting on a rocking chair, Skip, and I no more than started introducing him to her. She just said, how do you do? Went to her bedroom and slammed the door.
Oh my
You're
God.
kidding.
I'm not. That was it, right then and there. And she did that to be abrupt. So she wanted me to know not to bring him home again. But then, of course, when I met time at that bingo stand, that just sort of...
So were you looking for love when you met Grandpa?
How should I put it? Not exactly at the time, because I think I told you, I wanted to be a nun too, you know. And there was a big dispute between me and my sister, Charlene, Teresa. And she just about, I went to Mother in the station, I knew her real well. And when Teresa heard that I was going to go, she said, no, you cannot go, I'm going to go first. And if you don't let me go, I'm going to stay out and be a bad girl. And I said, oh, Teresa, don't say that to me. And my boss heard that, because I had my own office inside. That was the inner troublesome shooting office, where we had to always settle disputes with the teachers and stuff. And he was in that outer, and he overheard that. So then she did become a nun, and I stayed out because my mother was very sick, and there was a lot of medication, and I helped to pay for the medical bills and things like that for her. We were poor, but I'm not ashamed to say it because it taught us all a great lesson. We appreciated everything and everything. So when meeting Clem, it got to be, then he asked me to go, and my brother said, why did you go with Clem Brainy here? See, I played bingo, and then he said, and I didn't win, but when my brother and his wife were leaving, I left too. I wanted to leave too, and Clem says, play this one on me, because he was distributing the cards.
Grandpa was.
Grandpa was. And I I sat down and played, and gosh darn it if I didn't win. And he said, what would you like? And there was all kinds of doilies and things there, pillowcases. And he thought I was going to take one. And there, every time my dad brought me to work, we had tire flats.
Oh, every time?
Almost.
Why?
Almost. Because it was in the years where tires and rubber was, those were the warriors, you know. And that was all restricted. So he'd have them patched up and things like that, but it didn't last. So I said, I want that car inner tube. And he said, what? Grandpa says that. I said, I'd like to have that car inner tube. And he said, are you sure? I said, yeah. And so he reluctantly gave it to me, you can see. And I ran to my brother and I said, look what I got, I want. And he looked at it and he said, oh my God, Mary, why did you take out the car inner tube? He said, you know what, this is an inner tube for a truck. And of course, how did I know what the difference were in types, inner tubes or anything? And he said, besides, if he wanted to take you home, he wouldn't take you home because he'd think you had a car. He's got a brand new black spanking new Oldsmobile.
Grandpa did?
Where'd he get
Grandpa
that
did.
money?
He had it. Clem, had that.
From the funeral home?
I don't know where he got
Because he
it
didn't
from.
have the funeral home yet.
No, well, he had the funeral home building there, yeah. But
We did?
The building was
Oh, I
there.
didn't know that.
Mhm.
Oh.
He had the building there, but my brother.
Where'd he get money for a car like that?
Well, my brother, I don't know. Well, let me tell you, there was a lot of things when I got married to Clem. There was debts too, you know.
Oh.
So I continued working. And the first year we were married, oh, I gotta tell you about that car, and you're gonna laugh about that. So he calls me up in my apartment, and the house lady says to me, Mary, you have a friend here wants you on the phone, but his voice sounds differently. And I picked it up, and he said, this is the bingo stand man. May I take you out tonight and you have some ice cream? It was a nice warm evening, nice for ice cream to share and drive. And I'm thinking all the while in my head about that black spanking Oldsmobile and the one. So I thought, well, pretty nice. So anyway, I said, why don't you come to church with me? And he said, he hesitated, and he said, not for the first time. I'll meet you in the belfry. I'll meet you in the back.
To go to church on a first date is too much?
Yeah, he thought that was a little bit muchy. So
So going to church on a first date is too much.
yeah, on the first date. So he waited for me to get over the services and go fast to the belfry so he could pick me up from there. And he did. So we walked along those cars on that sidewalk. And what do you suppose he did, Skip?
He,
I think I told you, if you remember. He put me in a car.
But it wasn't his,
That
right?
was not his.
That's right.
And it was an old jalopy car. And he said, what do you think of this? And I just politely said, well, I suppose it'll have to do.
You said that?
I did. I said, I suppose it'll have to do. And then people started coming out of church, and he said, oh my, we better get out of here before we get be told off or something. So he took me about 3 more steps, and there was that black spanking Oldsmobile. And when I got into that car, sweetheart, you know what I said to him? He said, well, what do you think of it? And I said, that's more like it.
Grandma.
Rare.
Yeah,
was-
you're a little sassy, little Sasquatch there.
I was too outspoken. But honestly, I was always truthful.
But if you weren't outspoken, maybe Clem wouldn't have liked you so much.
Yeah, I was. He always did tell
Now,
him,
what if he hadn't pursued you? Would you pursue him?
no.
Do you think it's okay for a woman to pursue a man?
Nowadays they do that, but in
Yeah.
our day it was considered a no-no.
Do you think you could do it?
No.
What if you really, really loved a guy, or something just about him was really attractive to you, and you wanted him to pursue you? Wouldn't you pursue him a little bit?
I would. I'd probably do things, go where he is, sort of to bump into him.
So you just kind of like,
Very casual.
Very casual.
but you would never like call him or.
No.
Would you ask him out?
Never.
Do you
No,
think
no.
it's okay for like a younger woman now to do it?
Well, it all depends. You have to watch for that. Just all. I wouldn't know what to say. And nowadays it's so different. It's terrible. But I would want the man to pursue more than the woman. I really do.
But you hear all these stories about like guys who pursue girls, that the girls aren't really interested, and then before you know it, they end up married because the guy like tried to get the girl, you know.
Yeah.
But what if the same could happen if the girl was trying to get the guy? You know, look at that's all that missed opportunity if a girl just keeps saying, well, I'll wait for the next guy to pursue me.
I still think it's better if a man pursues the girl.
Okay.
I really do.
So there's so many girls out there and guys out there that don't have boyfriends and girlfriends and are getting married and they're sad and depressed.
I know, but you got to know that marriage is a lifetime deal. It's not supposed to be an overnight divorce thing, you know, like they're doing today. When you when you get together, you should pray together. Clem and I went to church a lot together after we got more, you know, acquainted and everything. And like I've said before, if neither of you can stand praying together, forget it. Because a family that prays together stays together, you know.
So your advice to someone is just to pray.
Gotta pray.
But anything
Because
else?
you've got- Pardon?
Anything else?
Oh yes, if you show consideration, be nice. Maybe gift her a little bit of something, you know.
And presents?
Well, not elaborate presents, some
Flowers?
flower or so. Jim Maria's guy was a flower man.
Really?
Oh yeah, he sent her a rose or two. She was in Kansas City when she was still school in nursing yet, but she knew that her dad told her there's nothing. You finish your education first.
Because when they met, Jim was in Kansas City,
He was in Kansas City, but he came to Carolina for a wedding for his brother.
and so they met there.
They met at the dance hall.
So their relationship started long distance.
Yeah, and in the dance hall, Maria didn't even want to go to that wedding because she wanted to study for her tests. And Clem said, "You got enough room in the back seat. You can study all the way going up to Carolina and back." And then in this dance hall Jim was the best man for this wedding for his brother. And so Jim was on one end and Maria was on the opposite of this auditorium at the dance hall. And they would be looking at each other like this all the time, gazing, you know. And finally, I said to Clem, "Hey, look at Maria. She's looking there and he's looking there." I did not know Jim. And then Clem called his brother and he said, he was there, and he told Chief Brenny, he said, "Chief, who's that guy over there? He's always eyeing Maria." And he said, "I want you to know he's the best man here that's left now."
Wow.
He said, "That's my nephew." He said, "You have to," he said, "Maria," and he calls Maria over, and they met. Will you believe it or not, they danced right then and there.
Wow.
Then it started.
And then Jim went back to Kansas City, and Ray was in Carroll, Iowa.
Yeah, Mariel was in Rochester.
Rochester.
Taking her nursing, finishing her nursing.
Wow. And then they.
And he kept, and then.
So how long did it go before they moved together?
He came there for her. They had that graduation, what they call this, where the girls all dress up, a prom night, and she invited him to come.
Wow.
And he flew down because he had to on kind of his work, what he was doing there. And so and the girls in that all dorms room, can you just imagine what they were
Totally.
when he was coming up that sidewalk, they were all out of their windows practically, gawking up, coming up, and he was coming up with this corsage for Maria. The girls dressed Maria up.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I did.
It's like West Side Story or
Yeah, and they did, and they got more acquainted. And then he called me if he could come and visit our family at home.
something. Oh, he called you.
He called me. Well, I answered the phone. Richard Clem was there too, and I said, absolutely come. That's how we got started. That's enough.
Well, we have nice about this here at the buffet is that you can take food and bring it back.
Yeah.
You know, because I know that sometimes we wrap up our
Yeah,
food and bring
you
it
can.
home.
You can. They want you to. They want you to throw it out.
Well, thank you for the lunch.
Whew, that was good. That was good.
Very
I hope
good.
you're not going to be hungry.
No, I'm full.
Yeah.
Here. So we were told that Sarah and I look alike today by a lady who was sitting right here, who happens to be from Foley and knows who.
Daniel Hamill and the Shimoda family.
So it's a small world. Grandma, thank you so much for lunch.
You're most welcome, the both of you. My God. It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure having you.